A young royal slipped on a sheer Tyrolean cliff, hundreds of meters above the valley floor, with no rope, no path, and nowhere left to climb. The people below watched him cling to the stone, knowing they were about to witness his death. But when they returned the next morning, he was gone. And when he reappeared, he was unharmed, rested, and he claimed he had not been alone. Welcome to Of Mountains and Men, where we explore mysteries, myths, and legends from the Alps and beyond. Tonight, we explore how one of the world's most striking cliffs became linked to a miracle, and why the survival of a single young nobleman would later shape how a future emperor was remembered. High above Innsbruck, where the Nordkette rises almost vertically from the Inn Valley, stands the Martinswand, a pale wall of limestone, steep, exposed, unforgiving. Even today, climbers treat it with respect. In the late 15th century, it was known less for climbing than for hunting. These slopes were royal hunting grounds, and few were more passionate about the hunt than Archduke Maximilian of Austria. Young, ambitious, restless. Later, history would know him as Kaiser Maximilian I. But on that spring morning, he was only a young nobleman, eager to prove himself. When a chamois burst from the forest and fled upward into the rock, Maximilian followed. Higher, steeper, until the path narrowed into nothing. And suddenly, there was nowhere left to go. He stood, trapped on a narrow ledge, the cliff falling away beneath his feet. Below him, his hunting party froze. They could see him, but they could not reach him. No rope was long enough. No route was safe. As the daylight faded, they made the only choice they could. They went to Innsbruck to fetch help, leaving their lord alone on the wall. And so, night fell on the Martinswand. Wind moved through the rock. Cold crept into his limbs, and exhaustion slowly replaced fear. It was then, legend says, that he saw a boy. A peasant child stood nearby on a stone, alone, alive, unharmed. Impossible. Maximilian called out, "Boy, how did you come here?" Show me the way." The child did not answer. He only smiled and motioned for Maximilian to follow. Desperation overcame any doubt. The young Archduke followed the boy across the rock, along ledges he had not seen, across passages he could not explain, until they reached a small cave set into the cliff. Sheltered from the wind, hidden from the drop. There, fear finally released him. He took a deep breath, and Maximilian slept. When the morning came, the rescue party returned with ropes and men. They called his name, and from the cliff face, Maximilian emerged. Alive, uninjured, rested. The boy was gone. There were no footprints, no visible path, no explanation. Maximilian believed his rescue had not been human. In gratitude, he ordered a cross to be placed on the Martinswand. The ledge where he had been stranded became known as the Kaiser Maximilian Gedenkstätte, a memorial standing the test of time until today, still bearing his name. Maximilian was born in 1459. He became Holy Roman Emperor in 1508. And he ruled at a time when power was inseparable from belief. Early written sources suggest that the Martinswand incident happened in his youth, sometime in the 1480s, when he was still Archduke of Austria and often resided in Tyrol. That part is plausible. He was a devoted hunter. He spent long periods in Innsbruck. And the Martinswand was indeed part of the royal hunting grounds. The stranding itself may well have happened, but the mysterious boy, the guiding figure, those belong to legend. And this is where the story becomes even more revealing. Because Maximilian was not only a ruler, he was one of the first European leaders to consciously shape how history would remember him. He sponsored books, prints, family trees, heroic epics, and symbolic imagery. PR, if you will. He understood that stories could rule where armies could not. The Martinswand legend does something powerful. It does not merely say he survived. It suggests he was chosen, protected, saved by divine will. In an age where kings ruled by God's favor, such a story was worth more than any fortress. Some historians see this legend as an early example of political myth-making. A real incident transformed into a miracle. A moment of helplessness reshaped into proof of destiny. And even today, a cross still stands on the Martinswand. Hikers pass beneath it. Climbers move along the wall. And few who look up realize that they are standing below a place where history, fear, and belief fused into a story that outlived the man himself. Some legends are born from terror, some from gratitude, and some from the need to believe their place in the world is decided by divine intervention. High on the Martinswand, where the stone falls into air, a moment of human helplessness became a story of heavenly presence for centuries to come.